Khanna of California. Congressman, thank you very much for being here. One of our guests that's going to be coming on after you in the panel said that in his view, and this is Tim O'Brien, who knows what he's talking about, you asked the best question, single best question of the entire spectacle of the Cohen inquiry. I'm going to play that for you now.
Are you telling us, Mr. Cohen, that the president directed transactions in conspiracy with Alan Weisselberg and his son, Donald Trump Jr., as part of a criminal conspiracy of financial fraud? Is that your testimony today?
Yes.
Succinctly answered, as many of those answers were. So, Congressman, at this point, having heard all of that testimony from Michael Cohen, and we know he's also done some closed-door testimony, do you now believe that the president directed and participated in a criminal conspiracy?
I do, Joy. Thanks for having me back on. And it's important for people to understand the president did this as president. This is not going after the president's financial records before he assumed the office. This is the president sitting in the Oval Office, writing checks personally to Michael Cohen and directing a conspiracy with Alan Weisselberg and his son, Donald Trump Jr., to cook the books and reimburse Michael Cohen. And it goes on for a year while he's president. It's deeply concerning, and the Southern District of New York's investigation is perhaps where the president is in the greatest legal jeopardy.
So, Congressman, this whole saga with Donald Trump started out really even during the during the presidential campaign, in a quest to find out if he was in collusion or conspiracy with Russia. Is where this Mueller, the thing we call Muellergate, where it's going, veering off of that and onto the many, many decades of Donald Trump's financial dealings?
Well, I think they're two separate issues. I think Mueller is looking at the potential collusion and the Trump campaign's coordination with Russia and Russian interference. And that's a very, very serious matter. It looks like Bob Mueller is wrapping up, and we need to look what's in that report. Wholly apart from that, there are issues of financial fraud that this president committed as president to cover up some of the hush payments that Michael Cohen made to Stormy Daniels and others. And there, the president apparently directed not only his son, but Alan Weisselberg, to basically commit financial fraud, to cook the books at the Trump Organization, and directed an elaborate payout scheme to Michael Cohen. And we know that the Southern District of New York is investigating that. Michael Cohen didn't want to confirm that in the testimony, but it's pretty apparent if you look at the whole testimony that this is under investigation at the Southern District of New York.
Of course, given that you are in Congress, the questions at hand are primarily political from where you sit. Would the Congress, in your view, impeach this president based on past financial fraud and wrongdoing if the Mueller probe does not find outright evidence of collusion with Russia?
Well, I think it's premature to say that. I mean, that's a decision that's going to be made by Jerry Nadler at the Judiciary Committee and, of course, Nancy Pelosi. But I do think that we need to look at what comes out of the Southern District of New York and the evidence of the crimes, and we need to call in some of the other witnesses, like Rona Graff, who was the president's personal assistant, like Donald Trump Jr., who signed these checks, like Alan Weisselberg, so that they can corroborate what the documents show and so that the American people really get a full picture. I think that's the next logical step.
All right, well, we will definitely be watching. Congressman Khanna, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.